Hey, it's Nintendo Sony Free 2011 here. I came in and we're reading guys on Wrestling Trolls and Archers towards this channel. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, BShoot, Brady on any other social media platforms like you guys can think of, Adventure Odyssey and Rumble, and of course, definitely Telegraph and Parler, just in case anything bad happens on this channel. Anyways, unfortunately, I heard this news about 2 days ago. I know I'm really late in this bitch, but I still had to talk about it because it's a little bit of important news. I missed out on this thing. Third day, I literally started talking about this mother effer again. And unfortunately, I didn't want to talk about it because, like I said, I don't like talking about this shit on my channel, but it is unfortunately video game related. And I heard some other chick that I follow sometimes. I'm not going to say her username, I'll say her, nickname or IRL name. If any people don't know who she is, she does a lot of, in-depth documentary stuff. I'll tell you the franchises, not franchises, but, little, mini-series she does on her channel, but you could just look her up on her own. Usually known as Blair. She does these stuff like Prisons of the Past and these giant MLM corporations, and she talks about the evilness, disgusting bullshit that these MLM corporate companies do and these corporate casket things. I'm not going to tell you the name of her channel because it sounds like a lot of the shit that I not really talk about, but talk about my BitChute Brighteon channel. So there's that. Always, I'm playing some Overwatch Blizzard music in the background, so it fits. But unfortunately, this one was real bad. It's from a couple of years ago. I think it's 2017 or 2018 was came out. Even though this dude Bill Cosby came out of jail a month ago, and dude was a super legend back in the day. He really was. But fortunately, all the nasty bullshit allegations that came out of him, I said stuff about him. It's crazy because I grew up with two of the franchises he made, which was Little Bill and the movie for Fat Albert. And as far as the Cosby Show goes, I know it was before my time and it was after my time. It was 1993 or 95 when it finished. I was about, I don't know, maybe 4 or 6 years old when it was all finished, but there's that. So, without further ado, let's begin. This comes from Sam Hollister, or Sean Hollister. I don't know if he's the CEO of the Hollister company, but I'd be surprised. But anyways, works for The Verge, so I doubt it. So it says, here's the evidence of a fired Blizzard developer's Cosby suite exist, including a framed photo of Bill Cosby. I don't know if they did this shit as a joke, but it's definitely not a joke now. All the nasty bullshit any of these fools were doing with women, like the SA and the real nasty harassment allegation shit that they fucking did to these girls, are fucked. 100% fucked. Immediately. That's not me being a sim. It's all women are freaking right all the time. There's probably a few women out there that are a couple bad apple pieces of shit too. Unfortunately. But yeah, without further ado, let's begin. I'll leave a link to a video I heard from Yang Ye's video. This woman that has a lot of money and power from Activision, she didn't say shit about it. It's crazy, man. So I'll leave the link and switch about down below to that video if I remember. But I got some good lighthearted news from these two. Stuff about the Joy-Con on Switches getting fixed for Legend of Zelda series. And then this one, how they made a brand new freaking a bike, a freaking model-looking realistic bike. An actual real-life bicycle from Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow series. But you can't ride on it. So I got a little lighthearted news too. So it says, as employees, like I said, say it before I say it again, you gotta give credit. Credit's due to Sean Hollister, the one that made this from The Verge. As employees walked out of Activision Blizzard today, which is just 2 days ago now. I'm real late on this, but I did talk a little bit about them when they walked out and shit. The allegation over constant SA or harassment, workplace discrimination, how poorly they felt, heard the company responded. Taka has released a report backing up allegations that fired developer over keeping a hotel suite named after the alleged R-word rapist Bill Cosby. In case you're catching up, the state of California sued Blizzard for non-discrimination last week. The allegations included claims specifically named Alex, I don't even know how you say that name, Afrazaibi? I don't even know how you fucking say it. I think it's Afrazaibi, the former senior of the creator director of World of Warcraft. Suite says at the top of the essay, or harassment of women, Afrazaibi had a hotel room during BlizzCon 2013 named the Cosby Suite, and it suggested the other employee's name as they know about it. It's crazy because this is between 2017 or 18. I think is when he ended up going to jail, but then he got out literally a month or two ago. And let's move on. Neither Kotaku's reporters nor the California lawsuit says that anyone was SA'd specifically in the Cosby suites. but it's increasingly clear that the suit was a real thing. As you can see above, that the pictures of the alleged Blizzard developers, alright, Blizzard developers literally holding up a frame of Bill Cosby. I got a text on my phone, that's why I kind of went quieter for a minute. Let's continue. Tucker says that the suite was a hot spot for informal networking at BlizzCon, where people were looking up to make up inroads the company would go to meet and hang out some of its top designers. One source told Kotaku that its original intent wasn't SA. I gotta say SNA because I don't even get paid by YouTuber to monetize for any of my shit. It's because I don't want to copyright claim or strike, but let's move on. Saying it was a reference to Cosby's iconic ugly sweater, but Cosby's already faced multiple essays, accusations at the time of the other sources apparently understood as it's a reference to them. Kotaku said as his Facebook album are full of photos from the sweet comments full of essay nature. Screenshots of an alleged chat with several named Blizzard developers identifying themselves as BlizzCon Cosby Crew and sources attending to its existence of the Boys Club there. One former Blizzard designer. Okay. One former Blizzard designer. I totally lost my fucking place where I was at. Damn, where the fuck was it at? Oh yeah, there it is. One former Blizzard designer allegedly bragged in the comments, gathered hot chicks for the cause, unquote. It's not clear how serious the BlizzCon Cosby's Crew statement was or were intended to be, but the Activision Blizzard company confirmed that to Kotaku that it was terminated. As for Zaibi, that's got to be some Arabic Middle Eastern, like Indian name, because I have no idea to fucking like. I'm gonna have a hard ass time freaking trying to like pronounce that name. I think it's Afrozombie. After it was made aware of the compliant allegations last month, that there's something that the company hasn't previously revealed to the public. You can read the full entire report of Kotaku, which I'm not going to do. You guys can read it if you want. Overall thoughts, views, and opinions, they screwed up big time. That's the only thing that I know. These fools right here, they thought it was going to be a joke. This is in 2013. It's before 2017 or 18, I think, before Bill Cosby got like sent to prison for all those essay assaults that he unfortunately did. It was really fucking sad. It didn't really crush me too hard, even though I grew up watching his two cartoons was Little Bill. And I did watch like the Fat Albert movie that had Kenan Thompson in it back in the day, so I had a tiny bit of nostalgia for stuff. And then they did have Fat Farm and Fat Albert like clothing when I was in elementary, middle school. That was a really huge ass fucking thing. So I had a little bit of mini nostalgia with the only two creations he ever made. As far as the show goes, I was way too little to remember to watch it. I did watch it once or twice in the last two episodes. Because it came like, the early mid-1980s before like I was born in the late early 90s. So unfortunately, these people are pretty much fucked in the ass. I don't even know if any of these Activision Blizzard like developers, gaming developers, that's supposed to be passionate for fucking video games, my guy. Not supposed to be going out here trying to hurt and assault on females and women. That's some fucked up bullshit. That shit ends up being true. If it was fake and they're in the wrong and somebody's blackmailing them, I feel bad for them. But more than likely, it's just some possible, even though I should be saying allegedly because I don't want to go to fucking court, prison either. This could be true. Who knows? But let's go on to the more lighthearted shit because I really want to talk about this big time. So it says you could ride your own bike from Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, I should say, but you're not allowed to use it. Not too much of a bike, then. This comes from Katie Gray. Never heard of this person before. From Nintendo Life. I could have read the other one from Nintendo Life, too, but I didn't feel like doing it. So it says, this isn't the time to use that. So Professor Hokyo used to say, if you try to use it at the Pokemon Center, or the Pokemart, or the department store, or casino gambling place, which they took that out, which sucked, but whatever. This is Professor Oak's world would have never been so true. The Pokemon Company, in celebration on reaching 1 million Twitter followers on their Pokemon Times account, has decided to make a one-of-a-kind replica Icon, expensive bike from Pokemon Red and Blue, and the cost of 1 million plus Poké Dollars to buy, unless you had a bike voucher. Nice, which you could get from the Pokemon Fan Club chairman. If you want to be in a chance to win in the bike, you have to follow the Poke Times on Twitter. Hashtag Japanese kanji I can't read. Which means Pokemon 1 million yen bicycle. Make sure to enter before August 3rd when the competition ends. Oh, and you have to live in Japan. Sorry. Oh, that's a bitch. I wish it would have been all over the world, but whatever. This bike, this bike is rather lovely though, so it might be worth moving. It's covered with little details like master balls, treads, silhouettes, and 4 original starter Pokemon and Pokeballs on the handles. This is fucking so damn cool. It's better in virtual reality, but let's move on. There's just one big catch. You can't actually ride it. You probably guessed from the title, though. Obviously, you did. I'm not surprised that this is a thing. Let's keep going. Eagle Eye researchers have already seen that the website mentioned that the bike is a little bit of a life-size model or that it doesn't have a bike chain, obviously, which is one of the things that makes the bike go. To be clear, it is not a bike. It's a bike-shaped, bite-sized piece of the video game memorabilia that someone is going to have lunge up to their apartment as a display, as a piece of art. What do you think of this? What do you think about this Pokemon not bike? So it's like a little mini statue or a portrait picture thing. That's what it is. I wish it would have been real. That would have been sick. Gorgeous work of art, loving the reference to a fantastic game, or a big thing that you definitely don't have space for, especially for its non-functionality. Let's know in the comments. This looks freaking beautiful, man. Even though my 300-400 pound ass couldn't even get on this. Because if I were to get on this thing, it will break very fucking fast. As a super heavy set, rotunda guy myself, there's no way in hell I'm going to get in this thing. I would love to if it didn't break. If it was made out of like army military like titanium sort of like steel, I'd be able to use it. But that's not what it's for, unfortunately. Looks like this came from the 80s and 90s, even though Pokemon was invented. The Generation 1 and 2 of Pokemon, at least, was from the mid-late 90s, obviously. So it's going to have like a mid-late 90s vibe to it. Looks really, really beautiful. I wish it would have made it red, blue, and yellow. Because it made it green, because I guess the Japanese versions of Pokemon Company, they made Pokemon green instead of Pokemon red and blue like we got here in the United States and Canada, I guess. So there's that. So let's get on to the next part right here. Nintendo Switch news. Very, very quick news. I was going to talk about this in California and this one right here. Scarlett Johansson was going to sue the shit out of Disney. So I don't really care about some multi-millionaire billionaires getting pissed off they're going to sue Disney because they didn't like have enough people watch it in the actual theaters. They had more people watching Disney Plus instead of the physical theaters. But I don't give a shit. Go fuck off with that. Well, let's move on to the last part. Looks like Nintendo Switch secretly fixed the Switch's biggest issues. Comes from SVG News. Comes from James Carr as well. Got to credit to him. So let's move on. It appears that Nintendo is quietly attempting to fix the Joy-Con stiff drift with some of the more recent controllers. A user on Twitter by the name of Chicken Noodle Gamer discovered that when they discovered that dissecting their Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD Special Editions Joy-Cons and the 4 Joy-Cons and found 2 small strips of foam inside of it, right at the sticks. Wow. As Chicken Noodle Gamer points out, the YouTuber Victor Sticks, hopefully I'm saying that right, Victor Stick recently made a video explaining how adding some of the pressures at different spots of the Joy-Cons can solve different drifts in some of the instances. This has led to an incredible clever Nintendo fans fixing Joy-Con drift with the use of their cardboards inside. While Victor Sticks' video was far too recent for Nintendo to made this design decision because of this, it does appear that Nintendo is aware of the nature of this and is implementing to use newer Joy-Cons to fix this. Of course they are. I hope they are, because if not, that's going to suck if they didn't. But let's move on. As far as that goes, also goes on to say, Chicken Noodle Gamer also explained that, quote, I opened my Zelda Joy-Cons and noticed that a strip that are not in any of the Joy-Cons me or others have seen. It seems that Nintendo had their biggest issue behind them, but is it really the case? And then it goes on further and further. Stick drift play at part. This is a lot more longer than I thought, so it says, yeah. Oh, yeah, Spawnwave Media, the dudes. YouTuber Spawnwave Media tweeted a picture of the dissected Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword Joy-Con and found the same secret piece of foam inside of it. Spawnwave then followed that tweet up with a picture of this disassembled yellow Joy-Con, also containing extra foam bits. They said that the yellow model is, quote, from a couple years ago, so it seems possible Nintendo could have implemented the fix of the new Joy-Cons a while back, but fans are now just finding out about it. Yeah, overall thoughts and opinions. Nintendo's a piece of crap, not showing How in the fucking hell did they fix this? I wish they would have shown